Hey guys, Papa Pete back with another pickup video. Today's video is going to be focusing on one of my special collections, and that is my Xbox collection. So stick around, I can't wait to show you the games that I've got to add to it this time.
Papa Pete, the old ass gamer. Papa Pete, the old ass gamer. If you haven't grown up by the age of 50, you don't have to.
Alright guys, I'm going to start today's video off just like I do most of my pickup videos with a new special craft brew. And today's is from Pickaroons, the Northampton Brewing Company in Fredericton, New Brunswick. One of my personal favorites, Jet IPA. How does a Star Wars fan not love Jet IPA? It is something that was released only, and this one's getting kind of old now. I've been saving it for a special occasion, so today's it. It's an IPA made on May the 4th, as in May the 4th be with you. Star Wars Day brew, and man, let's try it out. This is a fairly bitter IPA. It is strong, 6.6%. But what a great flavor, if I remember correctly. I haven't had one in a couple months. I've been saving this one for, like I said, a special occasion. But it's got a nice, beautiful golden color. Nice aroma. Oh, taste that hoppy goodness. Beautiful. Jet IPA. You gotta love a Star Wars beer. Okay, so on to the pickups. Before I get into my Xbox games, I got one quick thing to share with you. And it's kind of special. It's not so much the movie, although I love all the Marvel movies. I try to collect them all. I got a copy of Iron Man 3 on Blu-ray DVD. What's special about it is actually I got it with my Disney points. All the points, like you get those little cards inside the Marvel movies you get, or the Disney movies, which you had tons of those, and you sign up to be a Disney Rewards member. Well, they had a special sale back, I think it was September 5th to 9th, where it was like a quarter of the points to get different things. And I signed up and I got a copy of Iron Man 3 because that's the only Marvel movie that I didn't have in Blu-ray. I had picked up a copy, but it didn't work right. I think I bought it at a secondhand store, yard sale, or something like that. So now I got a brand new copy. And it didn't cost me much of anything. You gotta love these Marvel movies. Of course, I personally believe you will see Robert Downey Jr. back in the role of Iron Man. He'll be in other movies. They say Endgame was the final thing, but you know, if there's money to be made, they're gonna keep making these movies. Just like Sony and Disney came to the agreement just this week to make sure they keep the Spider-Man series going with it as successful as it has been. You knew that was going to happen because, like I said, there's a lot more money to be made by doing it and giving a little than by not doing it all. Anyway, Iron Man 3, so happy to add it to my Marvel collection. Now today, like I said, I'm just focused on Xbox pickups, and they're all Xbox pickups that I got from eBay. I got them actually all from one seller who I actually bought some of these things from the same seller 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I had those in an earlier video, probably more than that. But it was Goodwill, and I believe it was Wisconsin. So Wisconsin Goodwill, the thing I like about them is they're very good with their descriptions in their auctions. And they say whether the case is there, whether the manual's there. And for the most part, it's always been true. Now, let's start off with the very first game. Real simple, I'm going to start off with some sports games that I picked up. And the first one is NBA Live 07. Now, this game was supposed to be complete in-box, manual, disc. The case is in good shape. No issues at all, but as you can see, there's no manual. So I'll write to them and I'll let them know that, hey, the manual wasn't with this game. I have a copy of the original auction that says it was. And I'm only getting this for my collection, so it's really not much use to me without the manual. So we'll see what they do. Chances are they'll either give me back. I didn't pay anything for it. I paid like less than $3 for it. So am I going to get real upset over it? No. They deal with thousands of auctions, and this is just a mistake that was made. It happens. I'm not losing sleep over it. Anyway, if they come good for something, send me another game or whatever, that'd be great. If not, well, I'll probably still buy from them because overall I've had good luck. Anyway, nice to add NBA Live 07 to my collection. I'm starting to pick up a lot of the NBA games because I closed off most of the hockey games. Yeah, time to close off the basketball games. The next game I picked up is another sports game. and it is Inside Pitch 2003. This is not a highly rated game, but there's two things I like about it. First of all, I need it for my collection. And second of all, it's got Nomar Garciaparra on the cover, and I love Nomar Garciaparra being a Red Sox fan. He played through an era where the Red Sox weren't all that successful. They've had a lot of success since he's left, since they traded him, and which is kind of ironic because it was the pickup of a couple great players. I can't even remember who it was. When they traded Nomar himself away, they picked up a couple players that were a key for that 2004 World Series win to break the curse. Anyway, Inside Pitch 2003, middle of the road rated baseball game. Will I play it much? Probably not. There's other baseball games I'd rather play, but great to have for the collection. Next up is another baseball game. EA Sports MVP Baseball 2003. I didn't have this one. Obviously, why would I have bought it if I did? But I had MVP Baseball 2005, which is one of my favorite baseball games ever for the system, for any system, frankly. It has Manny Ramirez on the cover, and this one's got Randy Johnson. I don't know who that is there with them, but anyway, Randy Johnson on there, who came up and started playing with the Montreal Expos. I love the Expos. I'd love to see a team come back to Montreal. Nothing against Washington, but I thought Major League Baseball did everything they possibly could to make sure that the Expos failed. And they could haul them out of there. I don't know why, because overall, Montreal really can support a Major League Baseball team. Anyhow, this is a highly rated game. This has got like an 8.5 out of 10 rating back when it came out. As to all the MVP series seems to be really good. And if you like baseball games, this is a great place to start. Now, will I play this one? My guess is I probably will sometime. I'm going to try this one out. Can't wait. My next pickup is one of these more unusual games that tries to take a sport and turn it a little bit more arcadey. I always call it, they tried to NFL blitz it a little bit. But this one specifically is EA Sports NFL Street 2. Very interesting game. It's more along the lines of building your own team up and doing tricks and such and winning points and trying to get develop players and win the ability to play against other teams with NFL players, and then additional teams as you build up. Plus, it has a lot of things where you build up these points that you can actually use the characters that you make from NFL Street 2 in the Madden game. I think it was like Madden 05 or Madden 06. So, very interesting, very different scenario for football, so makes it a lot of fun, just like the NBA Streets or the FIFA Street game. Much more arcadish than a simulation game like Madden or FIFA, and just a great thing to add to the collection. This one in particular is very, very good shape, so really happy to add that. The next game I have is more of a utility than a game, really. It's Xbox Music Mixer. I've seen this around quite a bit. I could have picked it up in the past, but I got this one really cheap, like $250 or something like that. Xbox exclusive? Of course it is. It's an Xbox Music Mixer. But it lets you take music, create karaoke. You can interact with different files on your computer in Windows. And PC to Xbox music and photo transfer, karaoke. It's just like a utility that you would use. Am I ever going to mess around with this? Maybe for something to do. But probably not. It's really just part of the collection. And again, one of the Xbox exclusives, which I'd really like to have a list of. I'd love to have a list of all the Xbox exclusives. I've put that out there before. If anybody has a good list or know where there's a good list, please put a link to it in the comments below. I'm really looking for that. Wikipedia does not have it. At least not that I've found. Not a lot. Done with the sports games for now and the utilities and such. So this one is Conflict Vietnam. It is a tactical sniper war game where you actually can drive vehicles, tanks, helicopters, plus infantry combat. And it's the third in this series. I think there was Conflict, Global Terror, and Conflict Desert Storm. And there were two of those. But again, one of your typical war games that were on the Xbox. There are literally 100 of them. Very hard to differentiate between all of them. They have to have something special to really bring them out. And I've not really read where this is anything too awfully special. But that being said, the reviews for it are decent. Won't call them good, I'll call them decent. So people who bought this game back at the time did enjoy it, did like it. People who like that genre did appreciate this game. Am I going to play it? Maybe I'll play it a little bit, but in the meantime, I'm just happy to add it into my collection. because I already had the other two Conflict games, Global Terror and Desert Storm 1 and 2. Conflict Vietnam. Great addition. The next game that I want to show you is something a little bit different. It is Magic the Gathering Battlegrounds. Now, you're familiar, I'm sure, with Magic the Gathering, which was a card game. I never played Magic the Gathering. I don't think I've ever played it. I've seen people playing it when I was still in university. And nowadays, people still play it. There's a place in town here that's a gaming store. They get together for big groups. And like on Friday night, they'll have big matches. Group of people get together or such. I've just never really been into it. This takes the card game, the premise of the card game, and the real-time strategy of the card game, and it gives it a more graphical interface. So it's actually a pretty highly rated game as well. This one did say that the manual wasn't with it, and look, no, there's no manual, but the disc is in really good shape, and the case itself is in pretty good shape too. A few extra stickers. I might try to take those off. I don't know. But anyway, I've seen this around quite a bit. I have never really snapped and picked it up, and I got this one for a really good price. So, Magic the Gathering Battlegrounds. Glad to have it. Getting towards the end of this wave of pickups, folks. And the next game I have, another Atari game, just like Magic the Gathering was. It's Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines. It is the movie game. It's a licensed title from the third movie in the Terminator series, and it's also the third Terminator game that's on the Xbox. Unfortunately, it's also probably the worst rated one. It didn't get very good ratings at all. It's basically like a first-person shooter in the Terminator universe, and a lot of the reviews and such, they say it does have a fairly good hold. It does follow the movie quite a bit, the story of the movie, but at the end of the day, it just wasn't, the gameplay itself wasn't all that well refined. Still, games like this are historically significant to me, because anything licensed like this for the Terminator series, like you could have a person who would just collect all the different Terminator games, like I'm going to try to collect all the Wing Commander games, and that's not a bad thing, because a lot of the Terminator games are a lot of fun. Some of them are garbage, but a lot of them are really fun. So, very important, got to have it as part of my collection for the Xbox, but it also is its own little genre when you think about how significant the Terminator films were and are nowadays. I mean, the first one was made in the early 80s, mid 80s, and they're coming out with new ones just this year. It's amazing. Terminator has a lot of staying power. Now, the last game that I have in this lot from Goodwill, Wisconsin, is the one, when I saw it, just sort of made my eyes light up, and that's where I started, because I saw this game, I really wanted to get it, and then they had a deal where if you bought 3, you got a 20% discount. So once I bought the first one, I just started picking out ones that I didn't have. But this is the one that I really, really wanted, and it is Outrun 2. Again, Xbox exclusive. I have Xbox 2006 Coast to Coast, but I'd never been able to see this game. I'd never found it out in the wild. And I saw it on there. It was a pretty good price, plus I got to save 20%. By Sega and Microsoft. Good combination. Right after Sega got done with the Dreamcast, they ported all the games over that they were developing for the Dreamcast or further Sega consoles over into the Xbox. So that's why you have your exclusive Xbox logo on that, even though it's from Sega. The Outrun games are just amazing racing games. They have great graphics. They're a lot of fun to play, really fluid, and man, I just enjoy them so much. 2006 Coast to Coast is a fabulous game. I can't wait to plug this in and go through the season, or even just to play it like arcade style, where you don't have to take all day to play it. You can just do a few races, and it's a very highly rated game. This particular copy, the case could be in better shape, but the manual is excellent, as is the disc. So I might do a case swap with it, but overall, man, very, very happy to finally add Outrun 2 into my collection. Well guys, that's it for this pickup video. Trying to make them a little quicker than I have been in the past. I want to stick to one thing, and today the big thing was additions to my Xbox collection. Just some great games there, some great sports games, some various other types of games, war games, battle games, and of course Outrun 2. Don't forget Iron Man 3 too, that's a great pickup for my movies. Listen, thanks for spending a little bit of time with me today, guys. Don't forget to hit like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.
Papa P, the old ass gamer. Papa P, the old ass gamer. If you haven't grown up by the
Hello, Dali Popka here, and you're watching Papa Pete, the Old Guy Gamer.
What the hell?